This is Stephen Spring, and I'm here with L.J. Bergeron, talking about the BP oil spill as it impacts on Louisiana. L.J., can you kind of give me some background, your professional background as it relates to oil spills and oil spill recovery?
Yes. After being in the Coast Guard, I worked at IT Corporation where I was National Spill Response Manager, and we did hazardous material spills and oil spills throughout Louisiana and around the United States. Then a company in Lafayette bought a Chapter 11 company called Oil Mop, of which I was a manager, and we did oil spills all over Louisiana. We did the benzene barge spill, which was the largest barge spill done right here in Baton Rouge, and also the Bergeron barge spill, which was a 1-million-gallon seagoing barge in the Puerto Rico incident. And after that, I started my own small company and sort of semi-retirement.
Do you teach or consult with?
Yes, I do instructing for several industries. The DEQ, I've done guest instructing with DEQ, EPA, and also the Automobile Association here locally, All-Star, and Brian Harris, which my clients, and the Capital City Press, the Advocate. That's sort of my local retirement, doing those things.
Would it be fair to say you have pretty extensive background in oil spill recovery?
27 years of response, yes.
Well, with respect to recovery of the oil, have you ever heard of the use of hay?
Yes, in tight spots when we couldn't get the polymers out quick enough to the site, we'd usually ask or commandeer a bale of hay or a roll of hay to stop, like people do still use it as erosion control now, but in the early 1900s it was used preferably all over because we didn't have the poly pads to use until this was brought in by the oil companies, and poly was used because of the recovery of the oil after you use a poly pad. The hay was sort of the standard years ago. Man-made fibers were always used: sawdust, hay, rice hulls, things like this, to sweep it up, clean it up, because it could be burnt afterwards. So you had a pre-use and an after-use, sort of a recycling without realizing you were doing it in the old days. So yes, hay was the preference thing. It still is for erosion control. Bales of hay, you'll still see them on the interstate, stopping silt and things like that from getting into the gutters and cleanouts that are that when you're doing any dirt work is still a requirement. So hay is still a useful tool when controlled.
Do you think that hay is a useful tool in terms of deployment? For example, using the 2,000-pound bales of hay, for example, along the shoreline, combined with loose hay offshore in the water?
As long as the hay can be recovered and used as a renewable product, yes, hay is a very, very good thing to use. I mean, it's a substance that's not a very expensive substance like the poly pad, but it is a wicking device which has a molecular structure that does not give up the oil after it is saturated in it. It's like a hollow straw, sucks it in, and it can be reused. It can be recycled very economically.
Do you think it's still effective for oil, let's say, for example, Louisiana oil that's been treated with Corexit 9500 or other chemical dispersants?
I can't see where that would be a problem.